Hello everyone and welcome to a new potential career mode buys video. Now EA have released a list of some players in the career mode and their potential, so a few of these are actually taken from there, basically just giving us a more accurate idea of what their overall could be. We start off here with Vallejo, I think it is. He's a centre back in the La Liga. This was one of the players included in that list, so his potential is 86, we do know that for sure. He wasn't in FIFA 15, so we've got nothing to compare it against there, but for an 18-year-old of 74 overall, and just look at his stats to begin with. Great pace for a centre-back anyway, and then once he's 86, it'd just be ridiculous. His defender stats are going to be a joke, and with that pace, he's just going to be a great defender. Next up, we've got Levitch, another one that was in EA's list. He did have a very high potential last year, I believe about 86. He's got a slight upgrade this year from 71 to 73 overall, and he's just going to be a joke once you get to his potential. His all-round stats are just pretty ridiculous anyway. His pace, dribbling and passing is really good for someone his overall, so I can't even imagine how good that's going to be later in the game. Next up, we've got one player that wasn't on EA's list, and that is Mauri, playing for AC Milan. This is a 19-year-old that starts off as 72 overall. He wasn't in the game last year, so we've got nothing to compare him against in that sense. But being 19 and with 72, I think this year a lot of the, or particularly off EA's list, a lot of them do seem as though growth is quite big this year, or definitely looks a bit bigger than last year. So I definitely think he could easily be sort of a mid-80s player later on. And with his stats, they are quite well-rounded, decent pace, dribbling and passing. He's not got the worst physical stats either. He should be quite good later on in the game. Next up, we've got a player, Julian Bram. I was sure he was in the game last year, but I couldn't seem to find basically his overall. He's another one from EA's list. He's got an 88 potential, which is just ridiculous. His stats are just going to be an absolute joke that late on. And seeing as he's not playing for the biggest club, it probably shouldn't be that hard to pick him up quite early on. And especially if you're doing a career mode with not one of the top teams, he should actually be able to get in a first team reasonably early. Next up, we've got another one that wasn't on EA's list, and that is Nathan, playing for Vitesse. He wasn't on the game last year, so I've got nothing to compare him against again. But being a 19-year-old at 72 overall, another one I think could easily get into the mid-80s. And again, his pace and dribbling for someone such low overall is just ridiculous. And once he's filled his potential, they are just going to be an absolute joke. And by then as well, he should have pretty decent shooting and passing stats as well. He's not actually got the worst physical for an attacking midfielder either. Then lastly, we've got a Brazilian defensive midfielder for Valencia, Danilo. I think they signed him this summer, so it probably will be quite difficult to pick him up, especially since you can't get him in the first summer window. Another one that wasn't featured in the game last year, but a 19-year-old that's already on 78 overall. Now, he's on the list that EA brought out, and he's only on an 87. Considering the other ones they brought out that are around his age, they've got sort of 13, 14 potential, some of them. I really wouldn't be surprised if you could get this guy above 90 overall, to be honest. They have said that the maximum potential, basically for the players that are going to grow quite a bit, was Yari Tielemans at 90 overall, but I'm sure you could get this guy higher than that. He's already got quite good stats for someone in his position, and once he's fulfilled his potential, his defending is going to be an absolute joke. He's probably going to be the best defensive midfielder on the game by a long way later on, and definitely one that I think would be worth picking up. So that does bring the video to an end. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and again leave in the comments any players you think you might be picking up in career mode this year.